Good morning, everybody. Or it might be good night, everybody, depending on whether you're an insomniac or you get up early or you work during the night. Whatever the case may be. Let me show off my favorite little beast. Yeah. Look at that. I got a flag in the background. He's looking right at me. He's looking just to the side as if it's a portrait being hung in the White House. Our little cavalier, King Charles. Spaniel. It's a form of toy spaniel, apparently. Created in England. King Charles had them all over the castle. I shouldn't say all over. They were bred. They were in the castle in a breeding area. And the special one had that white spot up there. It's known as the king's fingerprint. He touched the dog. And that would be the version of these toy spaniels that'd be permitted in around the castle. We have a dandy little beast. This guy's, I'm going to say 6 pounds. I actually don't know. But tomorrow, after I clean out the litter box, I think it's on, like full. So, after it's full, I'm going to let the doggy step up the steps and step into the litter, and with the little doggy wait to do his business where the cats do their business. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, yeah, to get the dog trained for litter robot. Oh my God, that'd be terrific. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I promise.
It's 12:45.
Yeah. There are a lot of things I have to do tomorrow. Oh boy. I had to send a fax to my doctor because they got the wrong dose on my pregabalin capsules, which are now due for a refill. Son of a fax. Included in that fax was a picture of the prescription that he wrote. In case he has mental, the doctors are busy. They can't remember everything. Anyway, the last time he wrote the script, he left off my middle of the day dose. Morning, evening, and middle of the day. 3 times a day. Supposed to take these capsules. And if I don't, my peripheral neuropathy goes bipsic. So he wrote me up for 2 a day. And I had it filled at the end of last year. Well, I had a couple spares. So, if I had to duke it out between the doctor and the insurance and all this stuff, that's a racket. That's a right risk, Insurance companies are great at accepting premiums, not so great in paying claims. Yeah. So there's the on the bottle. There the bottle. See, Thomas Lubin. Yeah, this is an old one. Just want to show them. It dates back at least a couple of years. Yeah. I've been taking these things. I know what the hell I'm doing. I got my pill machine. It automatically dispenses them, at 8 in the morning. There's 6:30 actually. And then again at noontime. And then, at 8 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. Yep. 3 times a day, every 8 hours. You can see what's going on over here in the side pocket on my TV screen. It's the SpaceX landing of their super duper booster coming back onto the pad. Unbelievable. SpaceX. Here's what yeah. Here's a picture of 14.2.5, maybe. This is a late night view of what the panel looks like when you're driving. It's really quite spectacular. This is always a very nice feature, where you see the speed limit, the speed of your vehicle as it relates to what the posted speed limit is. Yeah, I have it set for like 5 miles over the limit. And then it starts to buzz, ring, chime. It chimes, I think. Yeah. Here's Herbert Ong. And we were talking. He is talking. I'm listening. Jacksonville, Doral, Orlando, and Tampa are the cities in Florida that the robotaxi is slated to go. They are hiring in all these cities. Five, 10. 10. These are 14 cities. From Tempe, Arizona to Marina del Rey, California. Peabody, Massachusetts. Never heard of it. Of course, I never heard of a lot of things. Flushing, New York. Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. Yeah. They're going full bore. And they're hiring AI safety operator, engineering and information technology, full-time, Henderson, Nevada. So you can see they're hiring, in Jacksonville. They're hiring in all those cities. He was spooling through them. He brings on Herbert Ong, brings on these specialists, and they're really they're knocking themselves out trying to figure out how come the stock price is down to $355 a share. Let's take a look. I'll show you. This is not investment advice. This is just, oh, now it's 352. I guess an aftermarket. Yeah, there's always, these retail people are really tricky. See right at the, whoop. All right, it's just updated itself to the 1-day chart. 355.28. 355.28. It's a match. The thing that's nuts is I can't reverse pinch this. So if you look right in the middle, volume 64.41 million. That capital M is million. The next thing is the price earnings ratio, which takes the forward-looking earnings estimate and divides it by the number of outstanding shares. The earnings annually divided by price earnings ratio. So it would be total number of shares, excuse me, it's a multiple. That PE ratio, that ratio equals the forward-looking earnings divided by the number of shares. And 332 is like obscenely high. Show me another company that's, let's say $1 billion in size, $1 billion in value. I'll keep it simple. Forget $1 trillion. How about 10 billion? Publicly traded stock. And has a PE ratio of 332. There aren't any. I mean, oddly enough, in Amazon, is considered, a technology company. I mean, it lists product for sale and deliveries and this and that, but all the automation and all that, PE ratio, 28. Uber, 14. Microsoft, that's certainly a technology company, 22. The PE ratio I'm looking at, right smack in the middle of that screen. Meta, that's Facebook and all that, PE ratio, 22. Disney's an entertainment company, 13. It's pretty low. It's, know why AT&T is getting hammered. $200 billion. You take all the market cap, you take all the outstanding shares and multiply it by, the price of the stock, which would be 28.79 cents a share. You multiply the number of shares by 28.79, you end up with 201.5 billion. SpaceX? Yeah, SpaceX. You can see the landing of their star. There you go. See Starbase. See that thing landing right? Now that's a big thing. That's like a 40-story office building. That's 19 feet in diameter. Crazy. It's got 33 Raptor engines in it, and it's running on 3 as it's coming back. Now that's that whole ship's all stainless steel, by the way. Rolled number 304 stainless steel. I actually don't know what version of the stainless steel it is. I'm just guessing at 304. Anyway, they're going to do an IPO soon. Oh, it's this week. It could be announced. There you see it. I did a little reverse pinch here so you can see it on the screen right here. Black wire. So get that out of the way. We got wires all over the place. Anyway, price earnings ratio. So they talk about this and the robo-taxi and the Optimus robot and they say the Optimus robot and robo-taxi is going to be basically the major earnings producers of the company, even though it makes cars. So it's going to go from a car company to a robot company or a company that gives you ride like Uber, call it up. But there's no driver. It's all computer-driven vehicle. It's got 6 cameras looking 6 different directions, 7 cameras, 2 in the front, 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side. That's 2, 4, 6, and 1 in the back, right above the license plate. They all have washers on them, so they keep the lenses clean, including the rear one. And the computer can drive the car better than you can. You're talking to the person sitting next to you. You're looking at this and looking at that. You may be tired and your eyes are sinking. You may have stayed up too late. Who knows what. Let the computer drive the car. We have a Tesla. Whoops. Did we pay the electric bill? Yes, we did. Alexa, turn on the den lights. There we go. We got them back on again. All at 1 a.m. It must be 1 a.m. It says, yeah, Tuesday midnight. I call this late night. Yeah. Tuesday late night broadcast. From 8 stories above Chops. Yep. Which is about 100 feet in elevation. March 31. Episode 582. Holy mackerel. That's kind of crazy. I have a little word called text right there. I will also set up my image on this. There we go. What? Alexa, turn on the den lights and leave them on. Excuse me, folks. I don't know what's going on there. So, this Alexa's business. They have an app and you can edit all this. I can't, see, I can't, but I have to keep an eye out on how these settings can be edited. There's an alarm that's going off at 6 a.m. every day. Driving Marilyn crazy if she were to hear it. So I changed it to 7:45. Hopefully I changed it. Yeah, standing up in the kitchen, I was editing that setting on the touch screen in the kitchen display. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see how I can do it. Alexa. I must have an Alexa app. There it is. Is it B or A? All right, I'll just go along with this and see what happens. Solve the puzzle. I don't want to solve a puzzle. I guess belt. Should that do it? Confirm it. Incorrect. Please try again. Oh, Jesus. Dumbass. Choose all their clocks. Okay. Hey, bingo. Oh, crap. Password is incorrect. Let's. Does that work? Apparently not. That's not correct. Oh. That's the problem. You can't remember these frickin' passwords. Screw it. I'll do it another time. Amazon.com. Let's try one more time. Alexa. Hey. Face ID. Come on. Don't fail me. Oh, crap. Let's see what this. They want you to do all this crap. Now they sent me a verification code. Oh, God, this is like a nightmare. Okay. Um, oh, how nice. Okay. There's JL.
J.L. Wilson.
Marvelous. Let's skip it. I was trying to look at the cameras. I don't want to do all this. Yes, loud. Yes, loud notifications. Oh, that's it. Marvelous. Get started. I am already started. There's the there you go. Let's see. Right, these camera things are all over the place. Is that a communication? This is not what I was thinking about. Oh, no, this looks better. There we go. Echo living room. Let's see what that looks like. Can we see it? Status disconnected. Live TV, folks. Oh my God. All right, how about echo in the kitchen? Live view. Let's try that. Allow. God. Live view is. It's not recorded. Okay. All right. There's the live view. It's live. Yeah. Okay. At least we're logged in. Yes. God forbid I should have to do that again. Let's stick to what I know. Now, one thing that's coming up, according to my secret bag here, not so secret, official, do not destroy. Yeah. See right here? This is my Mega Millions. Just look at the last line. Down here labeled 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we started off with a $50 million, then it rolled over to 60, rolled over to 70, and now it's rolled over to $80 million jackpot on March 31st. That's today. Okay, so in 23 hours, they're going to start picking balls out of a ball machine that has 70 balls in it.
It's 1:15.
Spinning around. It's 1:15. Thank you very much. You can see the exact time right here. Sorry. 1:15:09, 10, 11. That's seconds. You can have tenths of seconds also. That's up here. This is elapsed time, 33 minutes and 52 seconds. We've accomplished just about nothing. Because I spent half my time screwing around with Alexa. When the camera says disconnected, I guess it automatically disconnects if you're not using the camera. You know, like show me the living room, show me the kitchen. Let's see, I have 3 of them, don't I? One in the kitchen, one in the living room, and one in my bathroom. Facing away from the toilet. Yeah. Sitting on my bathroom counter, and I can have it play, you know, the Fox News channel live. It's like a serious XM radio connection. Yeah. Anyway, back to Mega Millions. This is the spreadsheet that I have done all by myself. Has nothing to do with Mega Millions, although it's all about Mega Millions. You see up on the top in italic, in brackets, I'll read it to you. Lump sum payout, after tax payout, and dollar values are estimates produced by the author, yours truly, Jim Wilson. All data presented have not been confirmed by any lottery. Let that be known. The lottery is not following Jimmy. And what I do, what I get from the lottery, basically, is the winning numbers. Whoops, I need to, sorry, I need to bring this over so that what I see on my iMapad, you see on your screen. Because my iMapad has more horizontal pixels than the number of pixels we've allocated on this half of the high definition transmission. There's 1080 pixels going across, where I've got about 15 million pixels going across. So I need to do what I just did so that, yeah, just like that. So you see what I see. Sort of. Whoops. Back here. Get back here, James. All right. Here is, you can see the entire quite. There we go. Now you can see what I see. So if I reverse pinch, so I get this from the lottery. I do print screens. So this is a selection of winning numbers. They're in date order. March 10, March 13, March 17, March 20, 24, 27. And the $80 million rollover, we don't have the numbers there. So these numbers here, where it says what the jackpot is to a single winner, that I get from the lottery. I get the day that they pull the balls, you know, the draw. So the draw date, yeah. And the lottery, official lottery app I have on my devices, including this device. Here's the official lottery. Logging in right now. You can see next draw, Tuesday, March 31. That's today, actually. 80 million. I didn't make that number up. Mega Millions told me that number. Yeah. Mega Millions. Next draw date, March 31. Okay. Looks out of that. Just wanted to show that. It's Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday. That part's easy. Twice a week. If you want to buy one chance, it costs you $5. Now you can, if you win the grand prize, you get all 5 of these numbers and the magic ball. You get them all, you got yourself $80 million. If you get all the balls and not the Mega Millions ball, you get, like $1,000 or something. It's really cheap. The little, the interim prizes are pretty low. Maybe it's $1 million. It kind of tells you the winning odds on the back of the ticket. All right, I'll take a look. That's my locking mechanism. As you can hear it. It's worn out Scotch tape. And inside here, there you go. I have 2 tickets, and I have a let me turn the lights up a little bit here. Validation. $10. Okay. So this is the winning ticket. Okay. So on the back of the, if you fill out one of these slips, I just get the quick pick. All right, I have to put on my, excuse me. These are perfect for looking 18 inches away at computer monitors. These are my eagle eyeglasses for like reading the fine print on the back of this pay slip, which it's just tell you the odds. It doesn't tell you how much you get. To match all 5 numbers in the Mega Ball, the odds of winning, your winning odds, is 1 in 290 million. It's actually a little over 1 in 290 million. That's your losing odds, the way I talk about it. In other words, there's 290 million reasons why you're not going to win. So this is not an investment. This is like, buying a ticket and hoping you get hit by lightning. If you get all 5 balls, without the yellow ball, the odds in getting that is 1 in 12 million. And to get 4 of the numbers is 1 in 38,000. So somewhere in here, you get $1 million, which is probably that all 5 without the Mega Ball. And 4 without the Mega Ball is 38. That's like, like a $500 or $1,000 prize. And, to just get 2 of them or something or other, you get 10 or 15 bucks. That's it. That's all I know. So here's my new wrap that up in here. This is my winning ticket, and that's what they print on there when you don't win anything. This is what they print on there when you do win something. So that was my last exercise in that. We'll just tuck these in here until later tonight at 2 a.m. or whatever. By 2 a.m., they know Let's see, this is Tuesday, yeah. Oops, let me put on my these glasses. There we go. Now I can see something that's, yeah, they're 1.5s. Plus 1.5. Yeah. So I need plus 1.5 to see about arm's length away. That's a good way of putting it. Which is how far you should be away on a computer screen. Yeah. You want to get closer? Get +2s, or I got +4s. I just got Marilyn another pair of +4s. She can't seem to. Somewhere she's got 19 pair of glasses with +3 or +4. Anyway, so these are. So I get the ball number. This is a print screen of the winning numbers. With a circle around it, so it looks like a ping pong ball. And I get the dollar amount, the 80 million, and I get the date. So I get the date, the amount, and of course I don't know the balls, because that would be nice if you knew the balls in advance. Huh? And based on prior lotteries, I have calculated the lump sum. The lump sum is actually the net present value of the future cash flows. And I have calculated that. Net present value of the future cash flows. There are lots of variables, like interest rates and all this kind of stuff. It's about 45 point something, like 0.2468, 24 something. I just shown 45 in little numbers there. It is a percentage, but that's one way of estimating it. These are all wild ass guesses. This spreadsheet looks pretty well done, almost like it's an official lottery. It's not official anything. This is just Jimmy playing around with Excel, if or actually numbers in Apple world. If you're in the Windows world, it's Excel.
It's 1:30.
If you know how to do Excel, you know how to do numbers in the Apple system. Pretty much the same. Okay, so a whole spreadsheet is calculated based on what the lottery people tell me at 80 million. So from 80 million, I calculate the 36 million, which is the lump sum estimate to the nearest 100,000. So, I've only given you 3 digits there. 36.1. Could be 36 point, 1. So we've rounded to the nearest 100,000. That's why they're all zeros after that. And you can see they're all rounded to the nearest 100,000, going all the way up the line, even to that $533 million jackpot, which was won on March 10th. That's why there's a green dot up there. And when there's a winner, I put the green dot, which you can see where that is, and I draw a black line all the way across. Yeah. So then they reset the lottery to 50 million. That's what They changed rules back in April of last year, and they upped it from 25, I think, to 50 million. You know, to get people excited about playing Mega Million. What's wrong with winning 50 million? You know, I mean, it's a bazillion to one chance of winning it, or 290 million to the winning odds. That's almost everybody in the United States buying a ticket, and you're the sole winner. That's like, whew, that's like throwing darts, long distance dartboard. Anyway, since someone won the jackpot on March 10th, then they reset the March 13th jackpot to 50 million. That's what I'm showing you there. And then it rolled over to 60 million. And on March 17th, someone won that. There you go. So there should be another green dot. And there is. And if they elected a lump sum, they would have won 27.1 million. That's what would go on your tax return. How about this guy puts out 241 million on his tax return? Well, guess what else happens? Let's go down to the green dot down here at this 36 million. Now that green dot doesn't mean it's one. That's green dot is there just to focus your eyes on the 36.1 million, because this is what we're dealing with later today. Would you believe it's 1:30 in the morning? This is the midnight, late night edition of the show. So the long arm of the IRS in Washington, D.C. gets, oh yeah, they get right in your pants even if you win the lottery. They're not going to let you run off with 36.1 million. Nope. They're going to grab 24% withholding tax. Withholding tax. All lottery winnings are subject to a withholding tax of 24%. God knows how they came up with that number, but that's the number. Federal income tax. Withholding. So that's down like, like 9 million. Bam! 36 million went to 27 million real quick. Yes, sir. That is calculated. And that is also, since 36.1 is rounded to the 100,000, if you multiply 36.1 times 0.76, right? If 24% is the withholding, then 0.76 would be the amount you keep. That's how you get 27 million. Multiply 36.1 times 0.76. In one step, you get the jackpot lump sum. After 24% withholding tax applied to all lottery winnings, by the way, $600 and above. So if you have any lottery ticket in the state of Florida, the lottery retailer cannot dispense a winning of $600 or more because they have no provision for providing your withholding and getting your social security number and all that, because that's $9 million in this case. That's going into your IRS account. So you want to make sure you can get a hold of that account, because there's $9 million sitting in there in advanced tax payment. Not that you're going to get any of it back, but you might. depending on what you do this tax year, 2026, if you're a billionaire already and you win this thing, you got all kinds of potential write-offs that, and depreciation and so forth that could offset some piece of this, your total income tax, which would be 37%, by the way, going right across here for these three columns, all right? I'm making these three columns fit the viewfinder. And if you look up, there you go. You can see all three columns, and more importantly, you can see the column captions up there in yellow or black and white. Simply stated, 36.1 million is jackpot lump sum, rounded to the nearest 100,000. Doesn't say that in the column caption, but it is. So go down there to the green dot number. The next number is 27,436,000. What's that? That's the jackpot lump sum payout after the federal withholding tax of 24%. There you go. 27,436,000. All right. So what's this number in brackets? All right, I'm warning you. Be forewarned. I'm telling myself, because this is an imagination. If I were to win the jackpot, which is so unlikely, I don't. Whoops. Well, I've already said it's 290 million to 1 odds you're not going to win it. Yes, sorry, Bob. Yeah. I read that right on the back of the pay slip thing. All right, so we got 27 million. That would be the number if you do TurboTax. You put 27,436,000 as your entry for earnings, assuming you didn't earn anything else. So if you also got $30,000 worth of, what do you call it? $36,000 worth of Social Security income, you can add 36 to that. It'd be 27,472,000. It doesn't really bump it up that much, does it, when you got 27 million in front of it? Anyway, so at 27 million, that's what you'd put in your TurboTax thing. That thing starts smoking with that number in there. And then you have to pay another 13% federal income tax on that 36,100,000, because you're most likely you're going to be in the 37% tax bracket. I don't know the tax tables, by heart, but I would say anything over 10 million there, you're jammed right up against that 37% tax bracket. So therefore, you owe another 13% tax, because 24 plus 13 equals 37. Now, I'm a math minor, I should say, math minor in college. And I know that 24 plus 13 is 37. So what is the remaining FIT of 13%? Well, I put it in brackets there. In this case, it's 4,693,000. So you want to make sure you don't forget that 27,436,000. That's going to hit your TD Bank account, assuming you have an account at TD Bank, which I do. And remember, we're making believe I won. So I'm looking at these numbers, telling myself Self, put 4,700,000 in the side pocket. Put 5,000,000. Just do yourself a favor. Then you're left with 22,400,000, right? Well, you're actually left with 22,700,000. This 27,436,000, that's the number that they're going to credit my TD bank account if I were to be so lucky as to win the $80 million Mega Millions. I'd be very happy to win 27,436,000. I'm just telling myself, put 5,000,000 in the side pocket, because when you do your taxes in April of 2027, the IRS is going to be looking for another 4,693,000, plus or minus. I'm estimating, of course. And just from a cash flow standpoint, since you started out with 27,436,000 in your checkbook, and you're at least going to put 4,693,000 over in a side pocket in like an interest-bearing money market, and just put it, 13% FIT. JLW. Yeah. So the net, so you check, your regular checking account, you'd have 22,743,000. You'd have 4,693,000 in the side pocket, because you got to pay that to the IRS come April 2027. And they've already grabbed 9 million because of the 24% withholding tax. And just let me just show you. Come on. 4,693,000. There you go. Times 0.04. You can open up an account right now, money market, and they'll pay you 4%. That's $187,000 in interest. Crapola. So you can open up some kind of an account somewhere at 4% interest, and you're going to end up with $187,000 worth of interest from March, this is April, day after tomorrow. Well, today is March 31. So tomorrow, Wednesday, is April 1. So April 1 to April 1, that's a year.
145.
Yeah. So that's how you come up with that number. There we are. We're back to the screen. So they're going to credit your account with 27,436,000. So what you better do is call your TD banker and say, oh, by the way, call the branch manager of your branch. Say, my account is going to grow by 27,436,000. So when you see that ACH credit coming through, it should be available to me immediately. Number one. And number two, it's not a typo. I happen to be the grand prize winner of an $80 million jackpot. And this is the lump sum after the 24% withholding. So that's what goes in your checkbook. And I'm telling you, telling myself, I should say, move 4,693,000 into some kind of a money market that earns 4%, something safe. You want to make sure, that 4 million, don't invest that in some goopy stock. And all of a sudden it's down 20%. And you're 800,000 short. Yeah, you just put that in a safe one. That's Truist Banks. Send me a flyer. We'll give you money market. I didn't see an account limit. Would they accept a $4 million money market at 4%? I don't see why they wouldn't, but who knows? All right. Just in case, you also must know this. It's just a little lottery knowledge here. You can't get that 27,436,000 paid into your account until at least 15 days following the draw date. So the draw date is today. So you're going to have to count 15 days from today, which puts you into April 14th. Add a day for the hell of it. The 15th. So it takes 2 days. It's 15 days following the draw date. Remember, the draw date is today, but it's at 11 o'clock. It's not like they can do anything about anything, at 11 o'clock at night, other than show you the bouncing balls and telling you what the numbers are. Okay? So they need 2 weeks plus a day to get their shit together, if you will, and collect the money, because each state has their own headquarters to deal with the lottery stuff. And in our case, state of Florida, it would be Tallahassee. So if you were the grand prize winner of that $80 million, you'd go visit the state lottery people, no sooner than 15 days plus the draw date. So like April 5th, March, April 15th, you could show up at lottery headquarters and say, here's my paperwork, which is your ticket. Where the hell would you put that ticket? Just think about it. You put it in a Ziploc, so in case you threw up all you wouldn't, or sweating with your sweaty fingers and all that shit. Pardon me. Yeah, you put it in a Ziploc. Put it in one of those little sandwich bags, so that sucker doesn't get defaced. Question is, who's the winner? You have to write that on the back of the ticket in very small print. And you got to sign it in real little tiny itty bitty signature. I don't know. I'd have Marilyn fill it out. I couldn't. I don't think I could write that small. Yeah. Okay, so I think they want you to go to a local lottery retailer, probably the one that you bought the ticket from, just so they know, because they get something. They might get $1 million themselves, paid by the lottery people, or $50,000. They get something. And they'd sure figure it out real quick if you walked in there with that kind of a ticket. Now, they couldn't pay you anything because you have to go to a lottery. So the big slip comes out of the machine that validates your ticket, tells you what to do, tells you where to go, the directions of where you go, and and it's in triplicate. So the lottery people are going to take one of those strips. You're going to keep one of those strips. And I don't know where the third one goes, but you end up with a big strip of paper. which you need to bring up to the lottery headquarters. Now, when you call her, I suggest you call Tallahassee Lottery. I'm talking to myself now. I would call the lottery office in in Tallahassee, excuse me, and coordinate all this coming up there and when I'm going to show up. You've got 180 days to present your winning ticket. And I would imagine, I guess you got to present your winning ticket to Tallahassee. Now, when you present your winning ticket to the lottery retailer, that validates the ticket. Because it reads the barcode that's on the bottom of the ticket, and it determines that you've got all the balls and the mega ball winning, numbers. These numbers right here, what we don't have, like 13, 27, 28, 41, 62, 16. Yeah. That was the $70 million version on March 27. And no one won it. So it rolled over to the 80 million for the following Tuesday. Tuesday, Friday. Yeah. That's the way it goes. So if you do $5, a period, a drawing, that'd be $10 a week. Yep. Because it's twice a week. If no one won this one, it would roll over to 90 million, according to what I've noticed in prior lotteries. Seems like they step it up 10 million each draw date if there's not a winner. Yeah. After it gets past 100 million, it seems like they have a formula based on the number of lottery tickets that have been sold, and some percentage of that is jackpot and all that. They have to run the lottery. In a sense, it's kind of like a non-profit business. And, they got to pay expenses. Have an office, they have telephone lines, they have advertising, they run an internet website. They have all these lottery retailers. So, they have to have a warehouse with lottery retailer machines in the state of Florida. It's over 20,000. It's like 25,000 machines in the state of Florida. There are 223,000 lottery retailers across the country in 45 states, plus D.C. and the Virgin Islands. Okay. I don't know which states don't do it, but there are 45 states that do it. Mega Millions. So, they have to, they have some staff that goes through and, decides, how the machines are designed. They have to provide to the lottery retailer, the big spools of paper that go in the machine. Those have to be manufactured to, pretty high specifications to prevent, copying the paper or trying to duplicate the paper, illegally, in order to defraud the system somehow, cheat, prevent cheating. limit cheating. They're printed front and back. They're serially numbered. You got to keep track of the serial numbers, and when the lottery retailer gets the spool, you got to enter the serial number beginning and end serial. It's a total shit show. All the crap they have to do. They get 5%. So when someone whips out a $10 bill and says, I'll take 2 tickets for $10. And the lottery retailer gets 50 cents for that. You get 5% fee, or paid by the lottery people, not by the customer. Pays $10, and then the lottery retailer pays that retailer 5% of all his ticket sales, because there are all kinds of different lotteries. He gets 5% of the gross book through that machine. And he does it because, people are in there buying cigarettes and soda pops or whatever. There's like little tiny grocery stores attached to gas stations. What are they going to do when they have electric? When most of the cars are electric. Yeah. That day's coming. I may not see it. My cycle may end before then, but right now I feel pretty good. My cardiologist says he thinks I'm good to 94 years old. Whew, boy, I'd make my family crazy. 13 more years of my yakking. I can talk to nobody for hours. I'm probably talking to nobody right now for 1 hour and 17 minutes, according to my elapsed timer up there. I'm sorry, I just boom, the boom. That's why they call it a boom mic, because when you whack up against it, it goes boom. Wow. Big. Look at that static if I hit it hard. Yeah, it was just the electrical connection. This is a boom mic. It goes boom if you whack up against it. Yeah. It's the mighty SM7B. Yeah. And I got that coming around here. The wire goes around here, comes around there. Right up in the top here, you can't see. It's my soundboard.
It's 2 o'clock.
Where I control the microphone. And I can control epidemic. It's 2 a.m. My clock says Tuesday, pre-dawn, 2 a.m. I have a little dog sleeping in his little hut. He either sleeps on his box or sleeps in his little thing. So until April 1st, I'm sleeping on the living room couch, just to keep that little puppy dog feeling safe. Because it's away from its mother and all this stuff, So it wakes up and, I need somebody. I want to be there for this little jumping jack. Yeah. Okay, so you got, you can tell the lottery people the very next morning, like if you won this tonight at 11, you can contact them Wednesday morning, at 10 a.m. and say, oh, by the way, I think I got the winning ticket. And they're going to ask you for serial numbers. They're going to ask you to go to your lottery retailer and validate your ticket. And you're going to put all that crap in a plastic bag And, you know, $27 million ticket. Boy, you don't want to lose that one. I mean, that's a lot of cash. And people knock you over the head and grab that one. Possession is 90% of the law. Make sure you maintain possession. So, you know, I guess from here we just drive to Tallahassee, get the address to Tallahassee, put it in the autopilot, push play, push start, and that Tesla would take you right to Tallahassee. That's probably a 5-hour drive. So just sit back and get your yellow pad out or your iPad, whatever. You're sitting next to your wife, sweetheart, your father, your mother, your brother, a friend, whatever. You head up to Tallahassee, stop for a nice lunch. I'd have that ticket stapled to my pants, to my front pocket, or stapled inside my shirt in a baggie. Yeah. They have to rip that sucker off my skin. I wouldn't even have it in my briefcase. No, excuse me, no way. Pardon me. It's late night. There's no young children here. Yeah, it's not nice to use the bad words. You got a $27.4 million ticket. You get a little nervous. A couple of things that I've been learned. Self, don't tell anybody you won this thing. As much as you'd like to blab it, don't do it. Keep it to yourself. Tell your wife and tell her, don't tell mama. Don't tell your brothers and sisters, because then they'll tell people. And then the people will tell the people. And then there'll be thousands of people that know you got this ticket. And one of them may be a bad person and come and try to steal it from you. You know, because 27 million is a lot of money. You know, you can't even think of a place where you'd hide it in your apartment. My God. Too much money. Let's just turn the lights down a little bit here. They may go off again. Yeah, late night, I don't like to have it too bright. It's just bright enough so that we can see what's going on. The place is being illuminated by these 1, 2, 3, 4 iPads. They're energized here, throwing off light. Yeah, and I just set the screen brightness so it's similar to what's going on up here. Yeah, there's my pointer. Probably go full screen here. There you go. You can see a profile. Encourage. See my headphones. XM6s. Best earphones Sony has ever made. They're magnificent. Plus, I don't want to take through there, but they're these. Such a mess. It's another pair of glasses. Feel it. Here it is. Wicked cushions. Guys, there it is. Wicked cushions. These are Wicked ear pads from Sony WHXM6. Yeah. So the cushions, all right. It's a zipper bag. Unzip the bag. And here's the Sony cushion. And they tell you how to pluck it off, which is easy. Just use a butter knife and chisel it off. And then these Wicked cushions, whoops, these are not the Wicked cushions. This is the Sony cushions, which I took off of here and put them in there. And then the Wicked cushions are in here and here. And they're thicker. It's, all the way around. They fit, you know, they just fit around your whole ear, head, whatever, and feel real good. You must try these. It's, you know, like 25 hours, round numbers. You get much. It's not, you know. So since they're, you know, they're headphones, they're over the ear headphones. Over the ear, all around the ear, you know. You can look them up on Amazon. I bought them on Amazon. Wicked cushions. There, let's do it. Amazon.com. There it is. This is my account. WICKED. Wicked. CUSHIONS. Oh, come on. No, I don't want. No, I get in this mess. I don't know where that search thing keeps popping up. Let's go back here. Oh, this control button is on. Sorry about that. Live TV. See you. There we go. Wicked cushions for Sony XM6. Bingo right there. There you go, $22.95. This is it. This is what I bought right here. See, purchased October 2025. This is the ones I bought. In black. Black is beautiful. Now they have these extra large replacement. Premium. Let's see. One of these costs $1 more. let's see what's going on there. I'll tell you what's going on. So black, yeah, tomorrow delivery. Extra large replacement ear pads with Sony XM6 by Wicked Cushions. Bigger ear opening. Aha. There you go. Breathe new life into your, yeah. I also have Sony XM4s. See what happens with that. Oops. You really got to watch this search engine business. They throw up a bunch of extra thick Sony XM4s, soft. This is what I got. Yeah. Yeah. All right, what we got here?
It's 2:15.
2:15 in the morning. Wicked cushion. He said, I knew I had him in there somewhere. Stuffed. Yeah. Let's see if I have any cameras on. Yep, here's a live camera. That's our living room. Looking to see if said dog is anywhere. I don't see any dogs or cats moving around. Not much moving around going on out there. It's 2:16 a.m. Everybody's sleeping. Inside there, that's a little doggy thing, but I can't see inside. I have a feeling our little doggy's sleeping in there. It's not in my little box, though. Last time I went to the bathroom, followed me in the bathroom. I think it came out of the bathroom. Yeah. This is from a camera. I have mounted on a tripod. This is the tripod arm of the telescope we have in there. You can look at it. It's like a 900 millimeter lens on a camera. So that's what's going on in the living room. If I turned on the lights, Alexa, turn on living room lights. There we go. Living room lights are coming on. This should switch over to regular. Whoop! It woke up the cat. There's our cat seen walking around. Whoop! He's gonna go get a drink of water or something. He's right on that couch in the light. Well, the Alexa thing said, okay. Just wondering where the hell's Jimmy? Alexa, turn off living room lights. There we go. Went back to the night vision, which is black and white. Yeah. You can zoom in a little bit. This is live TV. You can't see because I don't have you. There we go. Put me on the right side, please. I like to be just right in the middle. And swap the cameras. Here we go. And I have to pull this over so that you can see. Can I do it? I can. I gotta move this over. There we go, like that. That way you see everything I see. Okay, getting back to what's going on here. All right, so I would have to, I cannot collect the money sooner than 15 days following the draw date, which is like, April 15th, for all practical purposes. Give a lot of people a break. Because they operate in 45 states plus DC and Virgin Islands. And they gotta, do audits on all their machines. They have to basically digitally collect all the money because they, once or twice a week, or some periodically, I don't know how often, people buy tickets all day long, right up until 10 p.m. of every night. And so the next day, or next 2 days, 2 or 3 days, so periodically, frequency I don't know, let's just say once a week, they have to calculate all the lottery tickets that they sold. The lottery machine's going to say, you sold 1,000 tickets, for $5,000. So submit $5,000 to the lottery people. And you make a deposit basically into a prearranged account. So that money gets swept in. There's an account between you and the lottery people. And you put $5,000 worth of cash in that lottery account. And then the lottery people, they grab it, every week. I'm just making that up. Maybe more frequency than that. And they transfer that money into another account, into a master holding account for, all the states and the Virgin Islands and DC. The 223,000 checking accounts all over the country, 45 states, plus 2 territorial areas. And so they have to, they grab all that cash. And here you got 4 rollovers. You're in your 4th rollover. So that's 4 weeks, So that's 28 days times 223,000. A lot of retailers, so that's $1 million, account deposits. If it's just once a week, right? Jeez. You got 4 weeks or 4 draw periods and 223,000. So, that's a lot of deposits every night. They all come together. Everything has to get swept into a main account. And then they have to, calculate the lump sum, and they add up all the money, and they take out their, whatever their expenses are, and they gotta pay back 5% to a lot of retailers for their earnings, based on the 1,000 tickets I mouthed off. So that would be like $500 they'd make, Or, yeah, $50 per $1,000. Yeah. All right, so within 60 days of the draw date, you have to declare that you want the lump sum. If you do not contact lottery headquarters by some means, I don't know what means you need. I guess you need to have a valid ticket, and they would validate the ticket over the phone if you hadn't gone to a retailer. Either way, you still have to contact the lottery officials in Tallahassee and say, I want lump sum. If you don't declare that, you're getting the annuity. So in this case, the annuity would be $1,204,000. That would be your initial payment. $1,204,000. Yeah. And the next one would be $1,264,000. This is $1,204,000. Grows. It's a 5% growing annuity. So at the end so when you get your 30th payment, it'll be like 3 or 4 times. It'd be like $4 million. So it gets to be a big thing, 29 years from now. Remember, you're getting $1,204,000 day one. You don't wait a year for that. You get that day one. And then 1 year and a day later, literally 366 days later, you're going to get another deposit for $1,264,000. It's growing 5%. So in 1 year, you basically got $2,460,000. So, that ain't hay. That's serious. Be enough for me to live on. But let's see, when you're 80 years old, right? I'm over 80. I'm over 81. How about that? You don't want to get a 30-year annuity when you're 81, right? I mean, that makes no sense at all. So you kind of, at my age, you kind of pretty stuck on getting that lump sum. Poor baby. Which I'd have to put $36,100,000 on my tax return. They grab 24%. So You know, they're going to put 27,400,000 in your checkbook, not 36 million. That goes on TurboTax. Yeah, on line A, whatever, you know, wherever their income is on TurboTax. And you also show that you got a credit for 24% because they already took that money, that $9 million bucks. They got it in the account for you. And then I have to remember that next time I do my tax return, which would be April 2027 for the 2026 tax year, I'm going to have to send them another 4,693,000 in round numbers estimated, because I'm going to owe them another 13% because I'm likely in the maximum tax bracket of 37%. So 3,600,000 shrinks to 2,200,000. I'm sorry, 22 million. 3 millions, 36,100,000 eventually shrinks to 22,743,000. Which, yeah, that's a serious amount of money, 22 million bucks. I'd say 10 million. Just say 8 million. I'd take 8 million and give our 4 kids 2 million each. 2 times 4 is 8. Yeah. And I got 14 million left over. All right. So I take another 2 million and I divide that by another 8 or another 4 because we got 4 other relatives, you know, like brother, sister, 2 sisters, and a cousin and a grandchild, something too. So, you know, you want to provide money to all these people. So you got 2 million, you got 8, so they each get, you know, 500,000 apiece for each grandchild, cousin, so forth.
It's 2:30.
So that gets you down to like so that spends the 10 million. And now we're 22,743,000. So I take that 743,000 and I put that in an interest-bearing account. Let's do this math. 743,000 times 0.04. That's 29,720 divided by 12. That's 2,476. That's 2,500 bucks, round numbers. So divide by 2 charities. So Tunnel for Towers, we get $1,238. $1,238. They want $11. You know, they keep on advertising. You know, give us $11 a person. Divided by 11. That's like 112 people. Anyway, so Tunnel for Towers would get, you know, roughly $1,200 a month. And the St. Jude Children's Hospital would also get $1,200 a month. Basically, the interest off that 743,000 Right there. So now you got 12 million bucks left over for you and Marilyn. So with that 12 million bucks, yeah, because we've given away, $10 million. 10,743,000 actually. So now we got 12 million left over. So you pay 5 or 6 million and buy yourself a nice condo, or stay where we're at. I don't care. I like to buy a condo inside the Boca Hotel property. So you're kind of like in there. And then you buy a golf cart, and you drive over to the restaurants with your golf cart. Yeah. You don't have to deal with cars and Uber or any of that kind of stuff. Just have a golf cart. You can spin around to the different places on the Boca Hotel campus. Yeah, but I like a bigger than golf cart. So you can hold like 6 people or something. And have it, license taggable. I've seen one in the parking garage. I should take a picture of it. So you have one car and you got one of those. The lady runs off with her car shopping. I'll take the golf cart over to the restaurant with my iPad. Yeah. But it's it's a gated community, and I kind of get bothered by people. All kinds of people can be chasing you for donations. All right, so you gotta declare you gotta declare to the lottery within 60 days of the draw date your intentions to get the lump sum, which basically stops them from buying the annuity. If you don't tell them your intentions, they're gonna contract for the annuity, and they won't execute that contract until such time as the grand prize winner comes forward. Because if you don't come forward within 180 days of the draw date, your ticket becomes null and void, and there's no grand prize winnings to anybody. Or if I was the sole grand prize winner and I threw out my ticket by mistake, didn't realize the winning numbers were on that ticket, then the lottery wouldn't get collected. 181 days goes by. The lottery officials keep all the ticket proceeds. They don't have to pay it out to anybody because no one came forward. There are a couple of cases of that in the lottery history. Yeah. Bonuses for all lottery officials. There are, there are rules and bylaws. You can get them if you want them. It's all public records. You have to, let your lawyer search all the public information if you want to read about all that stuff. I'd like to know how many lottery tickets they have to sell to justify an $80 million jackpot. Yeah. How do they determine, if this rolls over 5 or 10 more weeks, if the grand prize is 160 million instead of 150 million or 170 million? What is that calculation? I'm just curious. How many millions of dollars worth of tickets do you need to make that jump from 80 to 90 million? Or 200 million to 210 million? How many lottery tickets have to be sold so you would estimate the grand prize would go up 10 million or 20 million or so? The bigger the grand prize jumps to, the jump between Tuesday and Friday and Tuesday, Friday, jumps by 12 million, 15 million, 17 million, 19 million, 20 million, 25 million, 30 million. When the grand prize is like 200 or 300 million, it jumps pretty good. It jumps 30 or 40 million maybe between draw periods because you get a lot of lottery ticket purchasers. I'm just curious how many millions of ticket dollars, I guess, or do they need to justify $100 million jackpot? Let's just take it for $100 million. They have an equation. Maybe they publish that. Maybe they don't. Is it in their public records somehow? If I win the jackpot, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm telling myself, don't lose the ticket. Put it in a Ziploc. Take it to your local retailer. Put a baseball cap on. You might want to have a security guard with you or my big son follow me. Walk in with me. So he can, armed, and keep the gun in his pocket. You're allowed to walk into a convenience store with a gun, I think. He has a carry permit. He does. So do I, actually. I put a gun in my pocket, too. Damn straight. Someone tries to rip off that ticket, they're going to get ventilated. Robbery attempt. So you got to go to the lottery retail and get the ticket validated. And I know the lady there, I'd say, put my fingers up to my mouth. Say, don't talk. Don't get excited. This is my son standing behind me, serving as a security guard. So let's keep this between ourselves. Yeah, I think I have to do that. I think a lot of people want you to do that. Validate the ticket. Or you can come up to Tallahassee and validate the ticket here. But since your local retailer is right next to you, just walk through the garage, go in there, validate your ticket quietly. Put all the information in a Ziploc. And that way the lottery machine will validate your ticket, that you actually have the ticket. No pictures are taken or anything. And then that sends that information up to lottery headquarters. So since you validated your ticket, that protects you for the 180-day, business. So that's a question. If you validated your ticket, does that exempt you from worrying about if you settle your business with the lottery in the 190th day? Can you do that? Or is you got to deal with everything in 180 days? You got to turn your ticket in. So you validate your ticket, and then all you're doing up in Tallahassee is collecting the money. Because you've already essentially validated. Now you have to turn in your ticket. You got to hand the ticket to somebody. You hand the ticket, they give you the money. It's an exchange. Here you got a validated ticket. We're going to credit your account $27,436,000 because Uncle Sam got $9 million for the 24% withholding. To be sure. Ooh. And then Jimmy, don't forget, put $4,693,000 in the side pocket because Uncle Sam is going to want an additional 13%. So you only got $22,700,000 to play with, Jimmy. You don't have $27 million. Now, if you put that $4,693,000 in a 4% interest-bearing account, you're going to make $183,000 in interest, or $187,000. Yeah, round numbers. Yep. Yeah, because that's the balance between the 24% and the 37%. Plus, you're going to pay 37% on any other income you got. Like, we got $72,000 in Social Security income, which now gets taxed at 37%. Yeah. Poor baby. Plus any wages and, I made at least one fee I know of. $14,000 fee, I think, from my friend Lyle who needed financing.
It's 2:45.
Yeah. On a property in Titusville, right across the river from Pad 39A, which SpaceX has converted into a spaceport. They're super duper. Phew. Big old rocket ship with 37 Raptor engines. Version 3 Raptor engines, which produce 270,000 pounds of thrust each. Multiply that by 37, see what you get. It's a bunch. It's millions. Amazing. Big booster, spaceport booster. Yeah. You can deliver a couple of tons of stuff into space, into orbit, screaming around the Earth at 17,000 miles an hour in some kind of an orbital situation. And the angle of the dangle and everything determines the shape of the orbit, the elevation of the orbit. Yeah. All based on centripetal acceleration. Centripetal. Centripetal forces. Tangential forces. to the force of gravity. I remember some of the vocabulary words. I don't remember the formulas for that. Yeah. I'm looking in my bookcase. Let's see if I even have those textbooks somewhere. Yeah. That's the problem with all my crap in the storage locker. Yeah, I mean, it's just shit you just can't throw away. Someone's going to throw it away or someone's going to keep it. I'll let my son Daniel, he can sift through it again and figure out if he wants to. But I drop dead and yeah. Yeah. Well, so this is happening today. Let's see what happens there, huh? Episode 582. Crazy, huh? I go over to Houston's every once in a while. And I get the rotisserie chicken with broccoli. Unbelievable rotisserie chicken. Meat falls off the bone. I almost get it every time I'm there. Either that or the ribs. The ribs are spectacular also. Yeah. I should try the ribs maybe next time. Which is today, actually. I have lunch with my good friend Bill at 11 o'clock today. So I have to rest up, get ready for that lunch. Poor Tiger Woods, he's in a jam. Big jam. Tiger in the rough. There's a picture of old Tiger. He doesn't look very good, does he? Mug shot. Tiger Woods makes a phone call. There he is. He's on the phone. He rolled over another car. In some of the back roads where he lives. Yeah. And, a lot of people live. He's got property in there somewhere. Here's my dog in a box. All coiled up with my shoe, my right shoe, which he dragged. There's a tag. See that right there? That's the tag on the back of the shoe. It's like a hook if you wanted to hang up your shoes. He grabs that with his teeth and he runs around the place with my right shoe. And he drags it up into his box. And he wiggles around and gets the shoe over to the side there. Sleeping next to my shoe. With his nose right up, I guess, at this all odors and stuff, They like this. I have an earlier shot of that. There it is. He got the shoe and his favorite tennis ball. He got his prized possessions, a shoe and a tennis ball. I'll tell him no, when you bury me with my shoes and a tennis ball. Yeah. There's a dog for you, huh? It's a little 5.5 pound cutie right there. And he's licking my fingers. He's trying to get up on the couch where I'm at. Trying to get my attention. He jumped off the couch, now he wants back up. I'm not servicing that too quickly. This is crazy. Picked this out of my news magazine. J.D. Vance urged to invoke the 25th Amendment against Trump. They think he's crazy with all this stuff with Iran. In a move signaling deepening fractures within the conservative movement, Scott McConnell, the founding editor of the American Conservative, has publicly called on Vice President J.D. Vance to initiate a transition of power using the 25th Amendment. A transition of power to himself. And he has to invoke it because he's vice president. He does not serve at the pleasure of the president. All the other cabinet members serve at the pleasure of the president, which means that any time you can be replaced with someone else. And then the someone else has to go through Senate confirmation hearings and all that stuff. You can just be a regular dude, there's no economic requirements or, it's a high-level government position. You can be a millionaire, a billionaire, or you can be a lot less. You just need to be able to demonstrate to the senators, to a majority of the senators, that you got the wherewithal to run the office that you're put in charge of. What do you know about being Secretary of Transportation? You've flown on an airplane, you don't know much more than that. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, so you got like 16 cabinet members that are all in line to the presidency, pecking order that's pre-established in the Constitution, by the way. Trying to show you my materials here. I got a letter from Charlie Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, and they sent me another copy of the Constitution. They have two versions of it. This one fits right in your back pocket. This one is bigger. It's like a 5x7, 5x8. Oh, a little measure here. This looks like inches. 5.5. 5.5 by 8.5. Yeah. And this one's a lot smaller. This is 3.5 by 6. Yeah. 3.5 by 6. It's the exact same print. You know, the way it's laid out. But it's a lot easier to read when it's in the bigger format. Print's bigger. I think. I guess the font is slightly. Trying to find the exact same spot. Yeah, section 9. Yeah, it's more. It's different. They got more definition of terms. So it's not. This is a more abbreviated version of the Constitution. This is fuller text. I mean, if you study the Constitution, like in college, as if you want to do constitutional law and all that, you go through all the litigation, all the different articles. It's quite a task in your memory. But yeah, it's a nice something for your briefcase. They sent me this a few days ago. Yeah, I like to hand these out. Of course, I like the nice thing about these is like businessmen can put them right in their jacket pocket. Or people like me, I can put them in my back pocket. You can put them in any pocket. It is pocket sized. Yeah. There you can see the covers. There's a 5.5 by 9, or 3.5 by 6. It covers all the key points in the Constitution. It's a nice thing to carry around with you in case you start having a conversation about, you hear about the 25th Amendment. Yeah, we can go in this bigger version and go to here's the different amendments. See nice big numbers, so you can get your page out to this is the 27th Amendment. Let's go to the 25th Amendment. That's the one. Yeah, you got section 1, section 2. In the case of the removal of a president from office, or if it's his death or resignation, the vice president shall become the president. Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of the vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president, who then shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both houses of Congress. Interesting. All right, so Section 4 of the 25th Amendment, that's where you want to focus your attention. That's what this story is pointing to. Yeah, they should say the 25th Amendment, Section 4. Whenever the vice president and the majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or such other body as Congress may by law provide. So this would be the cabinet officers. Those are the executive officers. So you have to have the vice president and a majority of the cabinet officers agree. They have a written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. The vice president shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office of the acting president. Thereafter, when the president transmits yeah. So someone wants to pull the 25th Amendment on Trump. He's like a punching bag. They keep coming after him with all this force. Now he's president, they're trying to get him out with the 25th Amendment. You compare this guy's conversation with Biden. Gosh, what a difference. Trump, every year he takes a competency test, and they have several versions of them. I've taken it once or twice. Given me by my doctor. All right, here I am. Here's my camera. The living room. It's live. Calculator. Amazon.com. Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll talk at you later. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been on here 2 hours and 26 minutes. That's enough. It's nice having late night coffee with Jimmy, isn't it? I drank about 60% of my coffee here in my 20-ounce, beautifully polished stainless steel mug. I bought 7 of them. I got rid of all the rest. You know, you have all these different companies on it. I said, you know what? I'm not interested in carrying around all that paint. You know, your football team and this and that. You know, these are all polished stainless steel. Vacuum insulated. So in the coffee and the amount of milk, they call it half and half today. And that's basically milk, 4% milk. That's what used to, milk. When I was a kid, it was 4% milk fat. Today you can't get 4% milk fat. Well, you can. It's called half and half. Which is, that's the way milk was when I was a kid. Best you can get is 3%. Well, that's, 25% less milk fat. Makes a difference. Whipping cream is 8% milk fat. That's how you can whip it up into whipped cream. You got to have 8% milk fat. So that's cream. Today they call it whipping cream. Now you can put it in your coffee too. I've done that for a while. We'll keep shining through the storm. Hold on, love will keep us warm. I like half and half in there. I should try the whipping cream just to see. Get a quart of that. More expensive. It's like $5 instead of $3.50. But you're going to use a little less of it. I never get anywhere near the maturity date or the expiration date. I drink it up fast enough. Yeah. All right, how's the Tesla doing? It's fully charged to, I charge it to like 89%. There's a cat sleeping on my head. The dog sleeping on my head, sorry. Let's see what's going on with the Tesla. Waiting for there it is. You see, so it's plugged in, set to 89%. It charges at, you can't see this. You can't see it on this iPad either. Because this iPad isn't logged in with the car. You have to actually have the device in the car to have it. Well, it's showing us charging. It's got 5 minutes remaining. It dropped down to 88%. So it's going to bring it back up to 89%. So it's got a 32 amp circuit by the building. Thank you very much. With the charging section of this.
I was cold, losing fire, like a spark that fades at night. Then your hands lift me higher.
So the monthly expense
So take me close, hold me tighter.
based on
All the noise just disappears. We can't fall.
we're saving.
Let our hearts awake from fear.
The charging expense by plugging it in the building here. We're saving about $132 a month.
And when they shine, we brighten the world. Our hearts are like rising sun. When they collide, we come undone. We will rise, it fills our lungs. And when they shine, we brighten the world. We brighten the world.
Annually, say $1,700, $1,800 a year. You can maybe almost see that. $1,796. It's serious business. It's electric. The Tesla car drives like a rocket ship. If you like power, when you step on the accelerator, these electric cars have it.
In your eyes, there's a promise.
It's dual motor. It's got a motor
Across the sky,
power unit for the front two wheels and a motor unit for the rear two wheels. And they're properly synchronized, you know, when you make turns and everything.
leave a melody to hear. Our hearts are like
It's extremely powerful. The gasoline engine, you got to rev it up to get the horsepower out of it. You know, when you say a
It's 3:15.
400 horsepower engine, it has to be running at like 3,000 RPM. Well, the engine idles at 500, 600, 700 RPM, revolutions per minute. It's spinning, 700 RPM. Well, for it to get to 3,700 RPM, in order to get that 400 horsepower out of it, you know, you got to step on the accelerator and let that rev way up. So it takes a few seconds to get up to 3,700 RPM. Electric motors, you got that horsepower right at the beginning of, you know, when the engine's running at, you know, 1,000 RPM. I don't know how the electric motors basically are run idle to stop, basically. You step on the accelerator pedal at a green light, and you've got 400 horsepower on the wheels immediately. As soon as the motor starts to rotate, you know, it's got a gear reduction of 10 to 1. Every 10 revolutions of the motor is 1 revolution of the wheel. It's 9.987 or something. So, give or take, it's 10 to 1. There's no transmission. It just runs up to, I think the motor can run up to, you know, 10,000 RPM, which divided by 10 is how many RPMs of the wheel. So.
Phones on silent,
Powerful.
memories on replay. Small familiar moments that I can't replay. I make a coffee, watch the street lights fade. I watch the door like it's the only way you stay. I try to speak, but the words don't line up straight. I practice being calm, but I can't.
Oh, let's look at New York. Just for the heck of it. New York Post has great covers.
When you're gone, I can't put my feet back down. I hold my breath until the world spins round. I reach out and my hands come back home. I keep the pieces, but I can't hold on to it.
They call it plain selfish. The Dems let Americans suffer in long airport lines as they flee to D.C. to protest with the celebrities. Disgusting, huh? Democrats refused again to fund the Department of Homeland Security, leading to another weekend of long lines at airports, and instead fled D.C. for vacations and protests. Here's Senator Chris Murphy, Democrat of Connecticut, flew across the country to pose with Jimmy Kimmel at an L.A. No Kings rally. Marvelous. You jerk. That was the New York Post of March 31st. That's today. All right, let's do a print screen of that. It's always fun to go there. I showed you how to look at it. You can do a print screen. There we go. Snaps right to. Bingo. Hit the check mark here to save it to photos. Then we're going to open up the photo library. We're going to pick recently saved. You're going to open up this. We're going to check mark it as, so it goes in my liked file. And I'm going to edit this. I'm going to adjust shadows. We're going to turn down shadows and turn up black point. Makes the blacks blacker. And then we go to the saturation and add a little color. See, the faces look a little white, right? Looks like they need to go out in the sun a little bit. So we're gonna turn the color up 65%. There we go. Save that. All right, let's. Yep, there you go. Shut down shenanigans. You ever wondering how to spell shenanigans? No, that's a word for you. Shenanigans. All right. That's quite a word. That should be on a spelling bee. Dems let Americans suffer in long lines. It's true. I mean, it's all. You tell me we're not going to have Homeland Security? I mean, these Democrats are crazy. They don't care. I mean, they're governed by the very left wing of the party, and they want no borders. They want the open borders. They just want to let anybody that wants to be here should be able to come here. Well, bullshit. Pardon the expression. We can't afford it. You know, there's several billion people that would love to have our health care. No, a country cannot survive without closed borders. Now, we let in 1 million, about 1 million a year, 1.5 million a year. They come in the right way. They learn about, they're subject to questionnaires in which they, want to live the lifestyle of capitalism. I'm not too sure what all the requirements are. There's like a history exam where you have to have a modicum of knowledge of American history. You have to prove to the government that you will not be a strain on our health or welfare system. So you have to show financial capacity, and you have to show that you have medical insurance by some means, because we don't want you to be a drain on our hospitals and so forth. So you got to show that you have health care, and you got to show that you have financial wherewithal, so you don't come in here and sleep on the streets. You got to be able to buy or rent something, and that you have sufficient income. You have to demonstrate it on financial information that you got sufficient income to survive in the country here without putting any strain on our welfare system or our healthcare system. 3 million people enter every year demonstrating what I'm just talking about. And then you get sworn in as a citizen. Yeah. But you got to do what I just said, and it takes, a year or so to go through all these requirements. You just don't walk in. So you wait in line, as you fulfill these requirements. There's probably a couple more I left out, but that's how it goes. All right. We're going to say nighty-night. I wish you a good day. It's Tuesday. It's pre-dawn. It's 3:24 a.m. And I think I'm going to take a little, about a 3-hour nap on the couch. Yeah. Have a lunch date at 11:30 at Houston's. You all have a great day. This pre-dawn Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Nothing loud, just soft and true. Every thought comes back to you. Time stands still, I start to see. This is where I'm meant to be. We walk slowly, hands brushing, hearts in sync. No need for words, we just feel and think. Every step is a gentle sign. Your rhythm moves in time with mine. Hearts in sync, we drift so free. You and I, it's meant to be. Quiet moments, wind and sand. Every truth we understand. Nothing else I know.